we're at early June now, and I thought I'd do an update of where things are at. Just in the home greenhouse, we've got a few plants that have started to respond positively to the recent warm weather that we've had. I've got a Malabar spinach here. This is a Kerala or a bitter gourd. And I've got some cucumbers. These are greenhouse cucumbers. Incidentally, these two Malabar spinach were sown at the same time as this one. Just a bit of variation in growth rate. Not sure why. It's just what it is. Down here, as you'll know, I think we're about 3 or 4 weeks behind this year. This was a second sowing of prairie fire. We finally got there, and I've just pricked these out. But you can see, those of you who've been following the channel or are growers yourselves will know that the chilies are quite a bit behind this year. This space here that we've just been allowing the coriander and mustard greens to grow in has just started to show signs of bolting. You can see there. So we're going to get all this cleared because I want to make way for planting some Malabar spinach, or I think I've got one bottle gourd seedling that's germinated and is doing quite well, so I might put that in here. These are overwintered black chilies that I had, and I'd shown these quite extensively last year on the channel. If I just close in a bit, you can see here and here where I'd pruned it, and it's the new growth from which these flowers are emerging. So hopefully by the time I do an update next time, we'll see some nice purple flowers coming through. And a closer look at the stem will tell you that these are quite old now. These are a couple of years old. Just stepping outside from the greenhouse, you can see that we've been growing red onions in this area. But some of these mustard leaves are starting to bolt as well. They're brilliant autumn and spring crops, but in the heat of summer you probably want to lift them and remove them. We've got a random pak choi here, a volunteer that just grew from probably seeds that were in the soil from previous years, but that started to bolt, so I pinched the top off, but I'm going to probably remove that. But I've said in previous years that we like using these outer leaves of the onions here, these scapes if you like, and use them in stir fries and things like that. So I mentioned previously we've got a small patch of broad beans in the backyard, and they're doing great, and there's very little sign of black flies and aphids and things like that. So hopefully we might get a crop before the inevitable arrival of black flies anyway. and it's not too bad. You just pinch the tops off and throw them away. Some people will use the tops. I've never really done that. For any of you who are interested in knowing a bit more about broad beans, they're a fantastic protein source, and in terms of growing, there's an added bonus. There's a wonderful, delicate aroma to them. I do in fact have some more established chili plants from this year. A cayenne type variety called long slim and jalapeno, which I'm sure a lot of you have either grown or heard of anyway. I do have some labels. So these are the jalapenos, and there are some flowers just starting to emerge. And these are the slim, long slim, Joe's long slim I think they're called. And just over here I've got courgette that needs to go into the ground. And these are a pumpkin variety called Crown Prince, which I've been wanting to grow for a few years now. So we'll see how we get on with those. In this little area near the kitchen, we've got some herbs. These are chives. I think they look quite nice anyway. They attract the bees. You can always pick some of these chives and throw them into an omelette and whatever. This planter that we've got here has some strawberries on it, and they're just starting to form. They're not the best, but at least there's something. Not sure I've shown you this before, but this is a red currant that we've got in the backyard as well. It's on the north facing side, and you can see that there's quite a lot of red currants that are forming. They're obviously not ripe and they're at the green stage, but this is the first year of fruit forming on this plant, and this is a cutting that's 2 to 3 year old cutting, I think, and it's doing quite well, and we're just trialling and seeing if it is able to cope with not being in a sunny position. I think it will do okay, and at some point I'll need to prune it back a little bit, but we'll wait till the fruiting's done. I'm not sure what these are. Oh, they're aphids. So I'm going to give it a bit of a clean. I might get rid of these leaves. It's this warmth that we've had, sudden growth, and the soft shoots have been most welcome for the aphids. in actual fact I decided to give this an early summer prune. I think it's for the best. A little bit later on in the day now, and I thought I'd do an update. I actually decided to clear this area in the greenhouse, so we've lifted all the mustard greens that you saw earlier in this video and the coriander. I dug it over a little bit and added some grow more, and what I've decided to do is plant into the ground now the lab plants and the Malabar spinach. Now, I've never ever managed to get my labs to produce flower and therefore produce pods, but as always I'm forever in hope that one day we'll get there. In fact, the store owner who sold me the seeds told me that he's not heard of anyone who's managed to get lab to grow so far north. Not sure why, because we're trying to give it the conditions that it needs, which is why we're growing it in a greenhouse. But nevertheless, I'm going to give it another go. As for the Malabar spinach, I have had good success with this before, and of the 3 plants that I showed you, I've decided to put into the ground the 2 smallest ones, and I've left the larger one as backup. So I hope you've enjoyed this little roundup of what we've been doing today, and do pop back to see what's happening both at the home garden and at the allotment. Thanks for watching.